Good morning, students. Welcome to online class. Today we are going to see our country India. It is location and physical divisions in geography. Our motherland India is a country of great physical and cultural diversity. It has lofty mountains, mighty rivers, extensive plains and plateaus. India has an area of about 3.28 million square kilometer, and India is the seventh largest country in the world. In terms of population, we see means it is second only to China. India is referred to as the Indian subcontinent because it is a geographical unit which is self-sufficient in itself, as it is cut off from the rest of Asia from the great mountain wall of the Himalayas. Now we will discuss about locational settings, India's neighbors, political and administrative divisions, and physical divisions. So what is location and extent? India is located in the northern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through its center, 23 degree and 30 inches. From south to north, India extends from 8 degree 4 inches south to 37 degree 6 inches north latitude. From west to east, India extends from 68 degree 7 inches west to 97 degree 25 inches east longitude. To avoid the time difference between New Delhi and Arunachal Pradesh, 82 degree 30 inches east has been taken as the Indian Standard Time. India is a peninsula and it is surrounded by Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean and Himalayas. From Kashmir in the north to Kanyakumari in the south, India extends for about 3,214 kilometers. From Arunachal Pradesh in the east to Kutch in the west, it extends for about 2,933 kilometers. India is referred to as the Indian subcontinent because it is a geographical unit which is self-sufficient in itself, as it is cut off from the rest of Asia from the great mountain wall of the Himalayas. So here we see India's neighbors, landlocked countries, island neighbors, and here Park Strait means a narrow passage of water. Let me see political and administrative divisions. India is a vast country and it is divided into 28 states and 8 union territories. Union territories are regions under the direct administration of the union government. Delhi is the national capital and Rajasthan is the largest state while Goa is the smallest. Let me see about the physical division. All kinds of landforms are present in India. This makes the physical features of the country rich and diverse. The country can be divided into six major divisions based on its physical features. So, Himalayas, Great Indian Desert, Northern Plain, Peninsular Plateau, Coastal Plains, and Island. Let me see about Himalayas. Him plus Alaya mean the abode of snow. The Himalayan mountains are divided into three main parallel ranges. That is Great Himalaya or Himadri, Middle Himalaya or Himachal, and Shivalik. So, Himadri or Greater Himalayas. This is the northernmost range of the Himalayas. Some of the highest peaks of the world occur in this range. Here, the tallest peaks that lie in India include Kanchenjunga and Nanda Devi. Many glaciers like the Gangotri and Barashigri lie in the Himadri. Himachal are lesser Himalayas. So, to the south of the Himadri, it lies the Pir Panjal and Dauladhar are important ranges of the Himachal. Some beautiful hill stations like Kullu, Nainital, Shimla, Mussoorie, Manali, and Darjeeling are part of this range. Let me see Shivalik or Outer Himalayas. The Shivalik is the southernmost of the Himalayan ranges, and it is also the youngest part of the Himalayas and still growing. Thus, it is made up of a lot of loose rocks and is prone to landslides. Lovely open valleys known as dunes are common here. Dehradun is located in one of these dunes. The Terai forest lie at the foothills of the Shivalik. The Purvanchal hills. These are the eastern extension of the Himalayas. The Garo, Khasi and Jainta hills lie at the point where the Purvanchal hills meet the Meghalaya plateau. The northern Indian plains. So, the northern Indian plains lie to the south of the Himalayas. These are formed by the alluvial deposits laid down by the rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, and their tributaries. Plains have fertile land for cultivation. Concentration of population in these plains is high. Ganga and Brahmaputra Delta. The Indus Plains. The Indus River originates in Tibet and drains into the Arabian Sea. They flow over large parts of Pakistan and Punjab and Haryana in India. The plains they drain are thus also known as the Punjab Plains. Let me see the Ganga Plains. The plains that are drained by the river Ganga and its many tributaries including the Yamuna, Gomti, Gagra form the fertile Ganga plain. They stretch over Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, parts of Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal. The Brahmaputra plains we see means the Brahmaputra river also originates in Tibet and flows through Arunachal Pradesh and Assam in India. Before draining into the Bay of Bengal, The Ganga and Brahmaputra deposit huge amounts of sediment and silt to form the largest and most fertile delta of the world, known as the Sundarbans. Subansiri, Jia and Teesta are some of the important tributaries of the Brahmaputra. The Great Indian Desert, that is Thar Desert. It is a dry, hot and sandy stretch of land. It has very little vegetation. It covers a major part of Rajasthan and extends into Pakistan. The desert consists of low hills called bhakars and crescent-shaped sand dunes that rise to heights of 150 meters. Dry salt encrusted lake beds called duns are found scattered over the region. Sambhar, the largest saltwater lake of India, is part of the Thar Desert. It is a dry land. Agriculture is difficult in the Thar Desert. The Indira Gandhi Canal that diverts water from the Beas and Sutlej rivers is one of the most crucial sources of water in the region. Let me see what is peninsular plateau. It is triangular in shape and the relief is highly uneven. Peninsular plateau have numerous hill ranges and valleys. It is Aravalli Hills, Vindhyas, Satpura, the western Ghats of Sahyadri, eastern Ghats. The plateau is rich in minerals like coal and iron ore. Let me see about Malwa Plateau. This plateau is bordered by the Aravalli Range in the northwest and the Vindhya Mountains in the southeast. Rivers Narmada and Tapti flow westwards into the Arabian Sea. Chota Nagpur Plateau. The Chota Nagpur Plateau lies to the east of the Malwa Plateau. It has rich deposits of minerals like iron ore, coal and limestone. Let me see about Deccan Plateau. It lies south of the Satpura range and the Narmada river. A large part of the plateau is made of volcanic rock that has been weathered to form fertile black soil. The region is rich in deposits of minerals like coal and iron ore. The Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri are the major rivers that flow eastwards across the Deccan Plateau from the Western Ghats to the Bay of Bengal. The coastal plains. The peninsular plateau is bordered on the east and west by long stretches of coastal plains. Western coastal plains, eastern coastal plains. Let me see what is the western coastal plains. The western coastal plains lie between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. They are narrow and run from the Gulf of Kutch in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. Let me see what is peninsular plateau. It is triangular in shape and the relief is highly uneven. Peninsular plateau have numerous hill ranges and valleys. It is Aravalli Hills, Vindhyas, Satpura, the western Ghats of Sahyadri, eastern Ghats. The plateau is rich in minerals like coal and iron ore. Let me see the island groups. Two groups of islands also form part of India. Lakshadweep, located in the Arabian Sea, Coral Island, located off the coast of Kerala. Andaman and Nicobar located in the Bay of Bengal, southeast of the Indian Ocean. Most of these are volcanic islands. The Andaman group is separated from the Nicobar group by the 10-degree channel. Thank you, students.